checking the microphone.
Yeah. Is it on?
Yeah, it's on right now.
Okay. Good morning, Seyfa.
Hey guys, how are you doing? And for the first time in my channel, I'm going to record a video in English, totally in English. This video and the next video will be in English just because I interviewed my new roommates at school, Courtney and Bailey, who are teachers from United States. I asked them to share their experiences on learning another language. So English is their mother tongue. Of course, it's easy for them, but they also learned some other languages and they're still learners of some other languages. So I asked them really good questions for you and I want to share their answers here with you guys. This vlog and the next vlog will be just about them. Okay, so it's really important for me that you like this video, write some comments, share it with your friends, and please subscribe my channel to support my channel so that I can produce more videos like this in the future. So the first video is with Bailey. I met this guy in the summer and since then we are good friends here, and he's a fellow musician as well. We play together, we go out together, and I really like his experiences on languages. I don't know what to say more, so let's go watch that video and please tell me what you think about his experiences. By the way, there will be some Turkish or English subtitles for this video, so go to your settings on this video and you will see that settings icon, then click on it, then you will find subtitles. You can choose subtitles in English or in Turkish. It's up to you guys. Thank you for watching. I will catch you later.
So everybody, this is my new roommate Bailey from United States, and he's not just an English teacher who is teaching at our school, but he's also teaching he can teach some other languages too, and he's learning some other languages too. So welcome Bailey. Hi.
Hey Seyfa, how are you?
So I'm great, thanks. So Bailey, tell me, what else can you teach apart from English?
I teach English and I taught German in the United States.
Alright then, so what's your major? Did you get any education?
Yeah, I have a bachelor's in German language and literature and a master's degree in teaching English as a second language. So that's my education. You know, I speak advanced German and intermediate Turkish.
Yeah.
Those are the foreign languages that I speak, and I approach them in very different ways. So I learned German at university. Was my bachelor degree, my major. And Turkish I've just learned from the streets. Sokaklardan öğrendim. So very different experiences, you know. One was in a book and one was just kind of like a natural language learning process.
All right, nice. So I will come back to that one, like learning Turkish. But I wanna know how and when did you start like thinking about German? How did it start? Like, where did it come?
Right. Yeah. No, I had never really thought about foreign languages or learning a foreign language before. In high school, I was more of like a math and physics person. You know, math was my strong suit in school, and we had to take Spanish classes, but I always did really badly in Spanish.
All right.
But anyway, in high school, I had a friend who was a foreign exchange student from Germany, and then when I graduated high school, I went to visit them in Germany, and I stayed in the south in Baden-Württemberg on Lake Constance, and I kind of got the travel bug, and I went my first year of university. I took my first German class at 18 years old. And I didn't do that well. I think I got a B-, which in America is not a great grade.
It's not the best one.
You know, it's a better grade in Europe or in Turkey, but in America you should really you should get a B at least if you do everything right. So it's kind of a sign that it wasn't exactly for me, you know. But I was kind of transitioning from being like a math person to a language person, and I just kept taking classes. The next summer, there was an opportunity to go back to Germany to study German, so I did that. And then when I returned from that trip to Germany, I decided that I would actually study German.
All right. So you are saying that you combined like traveling to the motherland of this language, then also you combined your studies at the university, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. And yeah, the traveling totally inspired me to study German. I wouldn't have studied German otherwise. You know.
All right. So what else did you do when you were learning German? Like, did you read certain genre or something, or did you listen some bands, maybe musicians? So out of classroom, how, and apart from traveling, how did you approach to that language, German?
Yeah, so when I decided to major in German, I had only been learning German for 1 calendar year. So when I took my first German class for the department, my teacher, after the first day, actually held me after class and she said, you know, your German is not very good. Are you sure you should be in this class, you know? And then I kind of explained my situation to her, that I had only been studying German for a year, and she said, oh, okay, like you're a quick learner then, actually. So she really encouraged me, and but I had to work really hard to succeed in that class, because all my peers spoke better German than me. So that was kind of the start, you know. And that was kind of just more schoolwork and just getting ready for class and presentations, you know, and that really got me to a decent level, just kind of classwork mostly. Yeah, we started doing short stories. I had to start reading short stories for class, and yeah, a little bit of films and movies, but mostly travel. I then again went to Germany for the summer.
All right.
And kind of after that summer, my German was pretty good, you know. I was then kind of intermediate, and I had developed a decent accent also during that summer in Germany. And then, but the thing that took my German from intermediate to advanced was that for class we had to read 5 or 6 novels in 1 semester. So in 3.5 months we had to read like 5 novels.
That's a lot.
I think I read 4 of them. And yeah, after being in Germany for 3 months that summer, reading 4 novels in the next 3 months, my German was then advanced.
All right then. Were they like authentic materials, or were they like stage books? Like, for example, we have Oxford books for English, I don't know, Robinson Crusoe and something like that, you know?
Yeah. I mean,
how was it?
Certainly, you know, German literature and reading is how I learned German, you know. People do it different ways. People choose they really get into the music. But German rock and roll music is not that great.
All right, yeah.
For singing, and a lot of German bands sing in English anyway.
Yeah.
I did do some rap, but for me, it was reading that got me into it. And yeah, I started with basically graded readers, and they were. I read these 2 short story books that were authentic materials, but at the bottom of the text, they would translate difficult parts, the difficult parts, and they gave you a lot of vocabulary. And the book also had a little dictionary in the back, which made things easier, because you just have one book. You know, you weren't grabbing for your book and then a phone, or a book and another book. And then the novels were just normal novels. They were authentic materials, and it was just, you know, it was just me and my dictionary. You know, I probably had like 3 or 4 dictionaries. It took me a while to find a dictionary that I liked. You know,
all right.
But it was just, here's the novel, here's the dictionary.
Yes, it's a hard work.
Get through it. You know, the first novel was really difficult.
It must be.
You know.
It must be. All right. So after that, you get your education. You start teaching German. So do you remember how it was for the first time to teach that language in German?
Well, I actually taught English first. So I had kind of got used to being a teacher. But then teaching German, teaching German was just like a little more exciting, you know, because it was a foreign language.
For you as well.
For me as well. And like I said to you the other day that I'm still learning things about English, but when I was teaching German, like I was really learning things about German all the time, you know. So that was really nice. But it was certainly more difficult than teaching my mother tongue. You know, grading essays was really difficult because I also had to look up the genders. You know, is this masculine, feminine, neuter? I would forget the genders too. So grading was difficult. But it was exciting to teach my foreign language. I really enjoyed it. I would happily do it again.
All right, nice to know that. So, so this is gonna be like out of nowhere, but what's your favorite word in German? Have you ever thought about it? Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't really thought about it.
Maybe something you want to say, you like the pronunciation or the meaning?
Yeah, I guess there's nothing specific that I would choose. You know, what I like about German is I like the freedom of the word order. I love the pronunciation. You know.
Okay, Bailey, can you tell me how you like the pronunciation? Can you give us more example about what you are telling us, the pronunciation? I took some German at high school, but like, you know, yeah, it's very hard to pronounce some words in German too. But give us some example, please.
The last time that I went to Germany and spent a significant amount of time there, my German was already intermediate level, but I was in East Germany, in Dresden, and with German and other foreign languages besides English, I think accent's a little bit more important. You know, people are used to hearing non-native speakers of English speak English with accents, so it's not so strange. Yeah, I thought that I already spoke pretty good German when I got to Dresden, but I had a horrible American accent, and nobody could understand me.
Yeah.
So it was very frustrating, like, to know that I was saying the right words and using the right grammar, but just wasn't saying the words properly, you know?
Yeah, that happens a lot when you're learning languages.
So people couldn't understand me. So it was really motivating for me to work on my pronunciation, and I had like a great professor. I was studying linguistics or studying phonology anyway. So I was learning about, you know, all the kind of different ways to pronounce different sounds and words and things. And yeah, I like German pronunciation. You know, there was that video, that viral video that went around a couple of years ago that was like talking about they were giving different words, and at the end they would give the German word in this horrible pronunciation. You know, they'd say like ambulance, and then they'd do French like ambulance or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And then they would do German, and they would do Krankenwagen. You know, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's not Krankenwagen, you know. Yeah. It's just Krankenwagen. And they also did. This one surprised me because I actually like this word in German. They did butterfly, you know, and then French had some beautiful word for it. But I think the German one is fine. It's Schmetterling.
Schmetterling.
Yeah, yeah. But in the video they go Schmetterling.
Yeah, it's an assumption that German doesn't have the nicest pronunciation, or it doesn't sound polite to people. It's the first thing people think about German language.
Right. That it has a harsh pronunciation,
but it's not.
I think one of the stereotypes of that comes from World War II movies where everybody's yelling and
they're angry, they're fighting,
and they're angry and they're fighting and they're at war. So of course they sound nasty.
Okay, let's move to your Turkish experience. So you're now teaching in Izmir, but you did this job in another city in Turkey too. Can you tell us a little bit about your experience as a teacher, and also learning Turkish?
Yeah. I moved to Turkey, I think in 2014, and I worked in Ankara for 5 years, and that's why I started learning Turkish. And certainly at the beginning, I was really motivated, but Turkish is a difficult language, especially at the beginning.
It was scary, huh?
Yeah. So I took a very different approach. I kind of used this approach in linguistics called pragmatics, and specifically speech acts, where basically you just focus on learning to say the things that you need to say. So I was living in Turkey, and there were things I needed to say. I needed to go to the store, I needed to read a menu, so I just started with the things that were most practical. And Turkish is difficult to start like that, because Turkish has really long words. People talk about German long words, which there are definitely long words, but Turkish has a lot of long words, and a lot of them are ones that you need to say every day. I mean, teşekkür ederim that's a long word,
It's like saying congratulations for Turkish.
Right,
it's always tough one in classroom. Congrats is nice, but when you say congratulations, it's is very hard for Turkish students too. And teşekkür, too many
Teşekkürler. Yeah. I mean, it's still hard for me to say it years later even. And English is easier at the beginning because things are broken down into more words, In English you can say, can I have coffee? And in Turkish you can't say, can I have, you have to say, alabilir miyim?
Yes.
And that's just one word basically, and it has to come out fast.
You told me that you used a different approach. You didn't get any formal education, like a Turkish course or something, but you learn it from streets. Street means when you get socialized with your friends, or when you need to buy something from supermarket, right?
Right.
Can you tell us more about this experience?
Yeah, well, because I'm a language teacher, I don't need so much formal grammar education, because I'm able to kind of look at sentences and words and kind of just figure it out on my own. So I don't need that so much, or at least I thought. Now I'm kind of at intermediate level, low intermediate maybe, and I've plateaued here for quite a while. I've been stuck here, so I could maybe need some formal education, but I think again it's reading. I need to read more. But one of the problems is it just takes a long time to learn a language. And I have a full-time job.
Yes. You have a life, and
I deal with language all day long. So.
Okay, let me open it a little bit. For example, for me, when I was learning English and some other language, I was always eager to repeat things. When I hear them on the radio, on movies, so that repetition was not a drills, but repetition, copying their way of pronunciation helped me a lot to speak that language. So I mean, how do you do it in Turkish? You see a word or a sentence and you force yourself to use it in your daily life or something?
Yeah, I mean, repetition is huge. I mean, you should have a vocabulary notebook, you know, and I just write the word down 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times. You know, one of the nice things about living in a country in which you are learning the language of is, you know, I just hear people talk and I just try to listen a lot, and I hear words that I know I've heard that word before, you know, and nice. I hear words that I remember. I've even looked for the meaning of that word before, and those are kind of the words that I focus on. It's just like words that I kind of have the feeling of, oh, I should know that, you know, like I've heard that before. That's a common word. That's the word I should learn today.
As a language learner of German, Turkish, and I mean, you already did a lot in German, but you are still learning in Turkish. And as teaching German and English, and you're really into languages, right? So, what would you recommend people who try to learn another language?
Yeah, I mean, learning just that it takes a long time. It takes a lot of practice to learn a language, and you have to build this implicit knowledge. You have to build implicit knowledge of the language through practice and experience. So for me, traveling to Germany, spending time in Germany was great, but I wasn't able to spend enough time in Germany. That wasn't sufficient to learn German. I had to also really practice it and keep my vocabulary notebook, and then also reading. You know, I had to, for me it was reading, that I would read the same page over and over until I understood it, and I would practice those words, and that gave me a native speaker in my pocket. Books are a native speaker just right in your pocket anytime you want. You know, I use movies, but like it's again, you can enjoy the movie, but it's still a study. You know, I would watch the same movies over and over again.
I did that too in English, like.
Yeah, so you have to create some experience, some kind of meaningful experience for yourself that is happening in this language, so that you can spend enough time practicing it and have memorable experiences with it, so that you can recall the words on demand when you need them.
Thank you for this interview, and it was fantastic. And you know, I think people should learn and should hear more about other people who learn languages. Like it's tough, it's not easy, but you know, we all experience the same obstacles in the road. But you know, hearing it from other people and their perspective means a lot for me, and I mean for many of my students, for especially Turkish students who wants to learn German, who wants to learn English, right? And also people who tries to learn Turkish can watch this video and, you know, get some perspective for it. Thank you, man.
Yeah,
and
no problem.
I'm glad that you're my roommate now, and see you around.
Ich roll nicht, und wenn das